Hi there, I'm Bridgit, and I'm going to be reading Alicorn's Prayer by FlutterDash777, or something like that. Right, let's get started. Come on. Alicorn's Prayer. I still remember you. Please don't think I have forgotten. I laid my head down on the balcony. I did remember, but that didn't mean I wanted to. It was too much to bear, too much for a pony like myself. I truly never understood all of what happened to me. I knew that Princess Celestia had great things intended for me, but what can I do? What can I do about it now when she isn't even here to guide me? I was the one in charge. It was for me who now had to look upon all of Equestria and know with my heart that I was the one that had to take care of every individual. That was Celestia's plans all along. She needed me to take her place. She needed me to grow into a princess like her. That was why she nursed me. That was why she made me her personal student all those years ago. She was tired. Celestia was tired. I closed my eyes at the thought. I never really quite took it that way before, but really, that was the only reason for it all. Celestia no longer wanted to be the ruler. She no longer wanted to last forever. So she needed me. She needed me to take her place. If that was true, then why was it that she didn't have Luna to do it? Of course, Luna was not that much younger than Celestia, but had they even ever talked about this before? Was this both of their plans all along? It might have been. I felt a chill over me, and I opened my purple eyes to the moon that had risen by myself as it always did. It was now my responsibility to raise both the moon and the sun when it was time to each and every passing day. I also had to attend all of the same meetings that Celestia used to attend when she was with me. Everything she and Luna once did had now been passed down to me. I was, after all, their successor. I never knew how it worked. I never knew that once a ruler found a successor, then they would be able to pass on to another life just like every pony else would. But that was only if they found one. What if they couldn't? I have been the ruler of Equestria for nearly 100 years now. However, I have been myself for almost 50 years, though. Those years have passed as quickly as they came. It seems like just yesterday I was nothing more than a young unicorn, searching for something I had never experienced before, friendship. But even though it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I was living happily with my 5 friends, I still feel lonely as it haven't been forever ago. I still carry their memories along with me each passing day. I still keep their fire alive within my very heart. I harbor their tender words that they had spoken to me. I continue to remember those simple days if it were just only seconds ago that were among me, laughing. I think they were taken from me too soon. I think that they could have lived longer if only they didn't have to carry on my burden with them, the burden of my duty as ruler. It was only mine to bear, but as my friends, they bared it too. I regret it. I regret it like hell. I could feel my eyes burning with fury now. I would always feel so angry at the world every time I came to look upon it. I would feel so mad at myself, and most of all, I would feel mad at her. It was like that kept my mind open like it is. It was never her that made me continue to hold on to those dear memories. It was her that forced me to see her smiling face in my mind and think to myself, I couldn't feel her presence ever again. Pinky. She was supposed to live with me forever. Those were the words I spoke to her last. I remember on that very day, many years ago, she was the last one I had. All of my friends had already lived their lives, and they had already moved on. I have never made it through all those sad, painful days if it weren't for Pinkie Pie. When we were young and I was nothing but a friend to them, I never saw that kind of light inside Pinkie that I had witnessed when we were the only 2 left. I was able to communicate with her, but only her. I wouldn't say to all my friends had gotten in the way of me realizing how much I cared for Pinkie Pie, but at the same time, it was true. When we were all together, I never really paid Pinkie much attention, and I would always think that she was so odd. It was true that she was different, but she was much more outgoing than myself. But at the same time, we were so much alike. I never felt so warm in all of my long-lived days when I was with Pinkie Pie. Me and her and me. I kept her by my side at all times. She was all I had left after all. I couldn't let her go like all the rest. I couldn't bear to see her leave without me. I couldn't let her give up on life. But as the years passed, I watched as she began to grow weary. I watched silently as she began to become tired too. I couldn't bear to see her like that, but still, I couldn't bear to see her go even more. It was my duty to let my subjects live fully and die peacefully. But Pinkie just wasn't one of my subjects. Pinkie was way more than that to me. It was if those last few days with her I had fully become aware of my true feelings for her. It was then that I had finally realized that my heart truly belonged to her. I could never comprehend why it took me so long. I never forgave myself. I still remember those last hours I had with her. I can still remember it if it was only yesterday. She looked into my eyes as I lay beside her. Her face may have been old, but her spirit was still young. She was still bouncing with energy, but only on the inside was she able to. On the outside, her body was too feeble to laugh. It was too feeble to even move. She was clearly not the pony she used to be. Yet, I still remember her that way. She was the same pony I met when I lived in Ponyville all those many years ago. She was still the same Pinkie Pie. Her blue eyes met my purple eyes. I could feel her heart and soul melt away as I pictured the young, bouncing earth pony that I knew was still hidden inside of this one. I remember how I brought my hoof to her cold face and smiled. A single tear fell off my face as it landed upon her own cheek. It appeared now that she was crying also, but I knew she had no more tears left to give. My face wrinkled up as I recalled the last thing she was able to say to me before her body became too weak to speak. It was so simple that it wouldn't really mean much to any pony else, but to me it meant the world. Those words rung through my ears at the moment when I was looking at her dying face. Rule long, but love longer. My heart was aching at this as I remembered the sorrowful look she was giving me. She had already looked so broken. I feared every minute that went by, for I didn't know which one would be her last. I picked my head up as I let these sad memories continue to play. I didn't know if I would be able to stand all these memories any longer, but they wouldn't stop. I gulped down as I remembered what happened next. I remember as her tear landed on my face, I reached my head over to her so she could hear me, and my voice shook as I spoke my final words to my dearest friend, Pinkie Pie. My dearest friend, live with me forever, Pinkie. More tears filled my eyes as I spoke those few words to her. I remember I had lifted my head above hers after I said these words, and with one glance I knew that she was now gone. I covered my face as the picture of Pinkie's unmoving body filled my mind. It really was just like it happened yesterday. I could see it so perfectly in my mind. It was as if she were a movie that was forever repeating in my mind. I just couldn't take this much longer. I sit out here every night and replay the same things over and over. It was never an ending story that had clouded my very mind, and I couldn't erase a single detail. That had been nearly 50 years ago to this day, but I can still recall every single detail. Was this a curse or a gift? I think it was a little of both, to be completely honest. Celestia had both cursed me with this immorality, but she had also given me the gift of it. I could remember my friends forever, but I could not live among them. My eyes were filled with fresh tears now, but I couldn't help but feel the way they were old tears from when Pinkie had left me. They felt like the same ones I shed then more than ones I am shedding now. It was true that I was stuck in the past, but how was that really my fault after all? Was this what Celestia and Luna felt all those years ago that they had ruled? Probably so, but I can't help but feel like they had taken advantage of me, but I do not possess. They had each other, and me, I have nothing. I looked down over the balcony. I can't remember the countless times I'd throw myself over it. Every time was a failure. It was probably in my best interest to learn my lesson. Each time nothing would happen to me. I would just be sore for a few days, but I would never feel death. If any pony else were to do what I just did, they would die instantly. But me, no. I wouldn't have the luxury of death. Any pony that were able to hear my thoughts would probably think I was crazy, delusional ruler that wasn't fit to be a princess. And I can't help but agree with it. I don't feel like the right pony for this kind of job. I don't understand what Celestia saw in me that told her I was the one fit to be her successor. All I feel is fear and unworthiness. If I were truly the right one, then I wouldn't be feeling this way. I wouldn't be thinking like this. I wouldn't be trying to kill myself. If I were the right pony to be the princess of Equestria, I would never even think about leaving my subjects behind just so I could die alongside my friends. That was selfish of me. But that just proved that I wasn't the right pony. Celestia had it wrong the whole time. If she were now looking down at me in my reign, she would be disappointed. I let her down, and I knew it, but was only in my mortal nature to do so. As a mortal pony trapped inside of an immortal princess, I wasn't the right one. I wasn't. Some pony like Pinkie Pie would have been better at this than me. She loved every pony, and even though things didn't go her way, she would still make every pony else happy. That kind of attitude would be fitting for the title of princess, but me, I'm just a lovesick, lonely, selfish mare that only wants to feel the loving warmth of her friends once more. I feel weary. I feel tired. So why can't I pass away, just like Pinkie Pie could? Tears rolled down my face like rivers, even the thought of her name sent me into the heart-wrenching fury. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I needed her by my side. I couldn't do this without her. She was supposed to live with me forever, but she gave up on me, and now I will do the same. I closed my eyes once more. Tears burned my cheeks. Pinkie's bright face plastered in my mind. I hung my front hoofs over the balcony and looked up the sky. Pinkie was probably smiling at me right now. I can't wait to see it for myself once more. I then shut my eyes for the last time. A smile forced on my face as tears stained my cheeks. Maybe this time will finally work, and I will finally go home. I flew towards the sky without looking back to my balcony. I flew as high as my wings could take me, and then I breathed in deeply with a sorrowful sigh. I'm coming home with you, Pinkie. Make sure you have a welcome party waiting for me when I get there. I closed my wings and let myself fall endlessly until I finally hit the ground. The ground hit me ever stronger than ever. I opened my eyes to see Canterlot Castle still there. Of course, it would never work. Rule long, but love longer. I understand now. I will never forget you, Pinkie, as long as you promise to never forget me. I smiled as I could almost hear her say back, I Pinkie promise. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's my first time reading, and I think I did a pretty good job. But I'll see what you guys have to say. Bye for now.